I want to review the parts of the Google Apps for Education again, and just do this in a quick way and open and close the file and show you where it goes and all of those things just to make sure that all of us are on the same page. You can see here that I've logged into Google and I've used my Global Academy Google Apps for Education login. I'm going to return to this uh, Google Apps Explorer icon. It opens up all of the different Google apps that I have access to with the Google Apps for Education login. We've looked at this before, but just quickly so that you can see them, there's Maps, YouTube, etc. The docs, spreadsheets, the slideshow software sites, and so on. I'm going to launch Google Drive. The significance of Google Drive here is that this is my Google Apps for Education version of Google Drive, so that here when I'm working at this school, I can have all of my files that are related to this school on in a single location. It really doesn't matter how I'm logged in the rest of my browser. I'm actually logged in, not on this browser, but I can log in multiple Google accounts. And Google actually does a pretty good job of keeping that straight. It's gotten a lot better over the years. In any case, here's my Google Drive. Think of it as kind of your hard drive in the Google world. I can create a new file over here. My folders will be located here, and so forth. I just want to create a new file. You can see I click on the new button to create a new folder, to upload a file, to launch one of these different programs over here. And I just want to go down to Google Drawings. So you can see I just clicked more and I opened the Google Drawings. Now, clearly we could get into the whole idea of apps. There's lots of other apps that you can connect to your Google Drive account. I'm not going to do that for our purposes. I'm just going to launch Google Drawings. Now, I might decide I want to create, say, a flowchart. I'm working with a group of people, and together we decide to make a flowchart. I open Google Drawings. Again, I'm not going to give you a long tutorial on it. Suffice it to say, I can use the Google Drawings program to come and make very simple types of diagrams. Actually, you can make quite complicated diagrams, but for my purposes today, I'm just going to show you sort of the simplest kind of how you make very easy flowchart going from point A to point B. You can see I can pretty much lay this out any way I want. I can change the colors and all of those kinds of things. And I can add text to each each symbol that I want, and be able to navigate that around. You see, it does create kind of a large text box, but just for my purposes right now, I'm not going to worry about that. In any case, so I have this, and this is now a Google document here. I can call it whatever I want. I can, it seems like it's lost its title, so I'm gonna pause. So I'm gonna give it a name. I'm gonna call it flowchart. Click OK. So now I have my flowchart. Here's the start. But let me say, this is a Google Doc, just like any of the other Google Docs. I can share it with my colleagues in my class. Anybody that's in this domain, I can share this with. I can export it. I can do all the things I can do with any kind of a Google document. So we could have this shared by our team, for instance, and each one of us can come along and add our own parts to it as we see fit. And it's all saved directly to this place, my Google Drive. So I click back on my Google Drive again, and I'm just going to refresh the screen because I'm not seeing my flowchart there. And there it is. There's my flowchart. And just so you know, when you log into Google Drive, here's all of your stuff. As you create a file, it's saved in whichever folder it was created in. I happen to have clicked new when I was on this window, which is the top level of my drive. I realize now I really should have created a folder, so I'm going to do that now and just create a new folder, which I'm going to call flowcharts, and click create. And flowcharts now appears over here. And so what I can do is I can take my document flowchart that I just created and drag and drop it right into flowcharts. It's a nice way of organizing my main page. It's there for everybody to see. To tell you the truth, I could also share these folders with anybody that I want to share them with. So I might want to have a folder that's shared with a team, and anything any of us drags into that folder would be shared with everybody else. Obviously, this video isn't, it could go on forever. I just wanted to give you the briefest overview of what the files look like. You know, kind of we create a file, it saves automatically, and we can then put it into a folder. We can share it, we can go back to it later, and there's lots of other things that we can do with it. I hope this has helped, but let me know if it hasn't.